Hi, my name's Tim Holmes, Senior Partner at Sirdar Group. I want to talk to you today about my experience of attending the Sirdar Applied Directorship Programme. So as a Sirdar team member, we all try very hard to make sure that we are exposed to as many of the training programs as we can, right from the receptionist through to the senior partners and executive team. Because we believe if we don't see the value and understand the value, then we can't communicate that to anybody else. And also just from a perspective of doing business better, our course is designed to do exactly that. So why wouldn't we want to attend as team members to make sure that the business is running as effectively as possible? A large part of the first session is about the experience of being a shareholder, being a director, and being a manager. And we talk about it a lot in our presentations, but it's been some time since I actually sat in the room and went through that kind of process. And personally, I don't get an opportunity to sit in a meeting very often as a shareholder and really think about what is my selfish requirement as a shareholder. I've had experience as a director, but also now I'm not in a management role either. So it was a great opportunity to think with those specific hats on, and then also to see the reactions of the other people in the room who'd never had that benefit, who'd never been through that process before, and see how immensely powerful and how simple a concept it is. As an experienced independent director, I've really found value in the process because, as I said, it closes a lot of gaps in our assumptions about our understanding. So we go through the simple stuff around the Companies Act. It's not in depth and in detail, but it's about practically what should you be aware of and how do you implement it. We also go through the experiential stuff of being a director, thinking through the decision papers that are in front of you in the boardroom. And that's invaluable. You can never do enough of that. You will always learn from that experience. In the years I've been learning about how to be a better director, I've realized that there are very few opportunities to understand and learn how to do the practical aspects. So I did an MBA, I went to university, I went to a good high school. None of those areas prepared me at all for being a director sitting in a boardroom. So what happens typically is we learn from the people who are in the boardroom and have been in the boardroom for some time, and their understanding is just as limited as mine was going to that first meeting. In that the typical way of running a board meeting is very much about who's attending, matters arising, previous minutes, look at the financials, and then we get to the second or third hour, now everyone's a bit tired, we try and make a decision, and then we close and we have lunch. What I gained an understanding from being part of the Sirdar group was that there's so much more to that agenda. There's so much more that we can do in that room as independent directors to really add value. And simple things like starting the meeting with a strategic discussion when everyone's fresh, everyone's thinking, everyone's actually being critical about something. And then you go on to the other stuff. So it's really simple concepts, but massively powerful. Many businesses have the majority shareholder who's a director, who's a manager, and have never really had the opportunity or even known that they should think and understand the difference between the hats. So as a shareholder who is also a director and also a manager, it's critical to upskill yourself and understanding with your director hat on, what is your role, responsibility, what kind of actions should you be taking to make sure that the business is run effectively and that the board as a whole is really adding value. As an experienced director, I think we assume too much that we've been on a board for 10 years or we've been a director across multiple companies, that we have a clear understanding of how to do the job. And I think there's always an opportunity to improve our skills. There's always an opportunity to take on different thinking. And now's the opportunity to really understand the impact of new legislation, new ways of thinking, new methodologies, because with the new Companies Act, with the stakeholder involvement that a business now has to be so much more aware of, there's a different way of doing things. And it's now that you need to upskill so that you don't, and the businesses you're involved with, don't get caught out in the future. If you're interested in finding out more, please contact me, call the office, you'll find the details on the website, or click on the link below.